My name is Tom Gager. I play in the Boston Symphony Orchestra and the Boston Pops, and I've been playing for 40 years, and this is my 41st season. I also have taught at Boston University for 33 years, and also at Tanglewood in the BU program. When I first came here, there were very few mallets available to me. We had a couple of mallets that had been used, but then, and of course the commercial mallets, which were not very good for my purposes. So I decided to try to make my own, and I went out and found a fellow who had a lathe, and I had him make two mallets. One was like the number 1 stick, and the other one was like the number 3 stick. And those were the first 2 mallets that I made. I covered them myself, and I used them for quite a while. But then they weren't enough for me after a while, and then I decided, well, maybe I should try to make some myself. And my wife bought me a lathe for Christmas, and that was her first mistake. I started fooling around with these sticks, and the more I made sticks, the more I found it was a fun thing to do, and I could try any idea that I had, and it was really great. So I did this for quite a while. I developed a lot of sticks, and then people started seeing that I had sticks, and then I got an order. Somebody actually liked my sticks, and so I said, yeah, it was from a drum and bugle corps, and so they wanted the number 2 stick, and I said, okay, yeah, all right, I'll have it for you on Tuesday, and I did, and he took it, and he came back on Thursday, and it was all crumpled. The head was all crumpled, and I said, what happened? And he said, well, I don't know, it just blew up. and so I figured out it must have been my core, which at that time was a cork core. I mean, it was beautiful to work with. I could shape it any place I wanted, in any way I wanted to. But then it wasn't strong enough to hold up to what they were doing. And so I said, well, I think I have to redesign this. And I came up with the felt core, of course, which that stick has now, and then I gave another one. So it got to the point that I was coming home from concerts, and we were both sewing sticks and looking at Conan O'Brien. And I figured, no, this has got to stop. So I did talk with Vic, and Vic eventually decided that he would take over the sticks, and I thought, gee, this is so great. And it really was, because in spite of the fact that we were, what I thought, putting out a product that was first class, Vic did the same thing, exactly the same way, and even better. So worked out very well for us. Vic is great. There's no question about it. He's a great player, and I mean, when I came in, he was, of course, he had been there for, I think, 5 years at least, and we just had a great time. You know what? I know he's a great businessman. There's no question about it. But he was a wonderful player. I can just tell you that. He had more technique than he needed, and up to the very end. I mean, you know, when he was playing, man, he would come in early and make sure that everything was perfect, and it was just a pleasure playing with him, I have to say. And he had a good sense of humor. I mean, I can tell you one story that I think you can add, and this happened before my time when Fiedler was conducting, and he and I think Harold Farberman were playing over in that corner of the stage, and that's where Fiedler went out after the concert, and he was getting ready to come out to take a bow, and Vic and Harold held the door so he couldn't come out on stage. And he pounded on the door, and the more he pounded, the more the audience loved it, and they were clapping more, and you know, then of course they had to hurry back to their seats, and naturally Fiedler called them in, but didn't do anything. You know, Fiedler actually had a good sense of humor as well. So welcome to my office, or cubicle as they call it. We have very little working space to use here in the Boston Pops. And so we have to be very frugal in what we do. What I have tried to do recently is to have sort of a setup in various places around so we don't have to move as much as we have in the past. This is a great hall. People come here from all over to hear the acoustics in this hall. It's terrific. It was patterned after the hall in Vienna, and it's one of the wonders of the world, I think. I mean, other orchestras that come through here are just amazed at how well they can hear and how well they project. And so it's a pleasure for us to be able to play here every day.